Hey guys, my name is Andrei. I'm a certified translator and a real estate concierge operating in Minsk and across Belarus. Today we're talking about short-term visas for American passport holders. Partially this is about Canadians as well, simply because Americans can no longer fly in and fly out using that 30-day visa-free program through the airport, and Canadians do not have an embassy in their home country, but they're still eligible for the visa-free. So for whatever purpose, Americans, read Canadians as well, may need a visa, let's say to cross over land and so on and so forth. They can apply at the Embassy of Belarus in the US. The link will be down below. The best advice to this video that can precede the whole thing is do not use any visa support agencies, visa facilitating agencies outside Belarus, because these guys just charge you very handsomely to spit on the stamps and to put your papers in the envelope and to send it off to the consulate. That's it. There is no magic. They're working, and quite often they can tangle up the simplest procedure just going by their official thick guidelines, and the matter can be much simpler. So let's see how it works. I've been in tour guiding for more than 10 years, and now I'm relocating people, so I very much both consider myself an expert in tourist visas and in business visas. Both are regarded as short-term visas. Tourist stay can be no longer than 30 days, and in theory, just in theory, it can't be extended. Let's see how you can apply for these. The mechanics are just identical. To get a visa, you'll need generally 4 or 5 things. Firstly, your passport, which is valid for 90 days after you intend to leave the country, has 2 spare pages for the visa sticker to be placed inside there by the consulate. Nobody else did, just the consulate does this, and the consulate charges you money for that. The visa fee, right now it's in cash, but check against the website of the consulate down below how exactly they are charging. Photographs, 35 by 45 millimeters, visa form, printed out, typed in, filled out on a computer, printed out on one piece of paper, both sides, and signed by you, not electronically, signed after you print it out. And the invitation or a booking confirmation. If we talk about a tourist visa, lately consulate has been loyal, but they may ask for more paperwork. They may accept to grant you a visa, simply just a hotel confirmation. Mostly they ask that the hotel confirmation comes exactly from the hotel. And there are some hotels that do this, there are some hotels that do not. If that doesn't work, you may need an invitation letter, which makes the ground of the visa support services or the visa support from your partners, friends, whoever. Tourist visa can be granted based on a hotel booking or 2 or more services you get from a travel agency or a farm stay or a spa resort. And a business visa that can be up to 90 days can mostly be provided based on the business partner's invitation or the service contract from the company that accommodates you, for instance, my company relocating you to Belarus, or from some other partners, or from your own company if you're not employed by them. That allows you to get a visa for 90 days. Last but not least is the medical insurance. The embassy will be happy if you supply one of the 2 policies from the companies from over here, but the links are under the video, in the video description, but the sanctions, the blockages, the internet issues may disallow you to handle the payment overseas. Some people manage to buy them overseas online, some people just fail, and they are not kind of people that use VPNs. In that case, you can try your own insurance, as long as it explicitly says worldwide coverage, 10,000 euro or more. This policy may work for the embassy. So with this virtual package in mind, let's go step by step. Suppose you are a good American wanting to travel to Belarus. For whatever reason, you need a visa, perhaps to take that cheap flight to Vilnius and then take a bus overland. There are no restrictions from the US government for the good Americans to travel to Belarus. There is just a restriction on direct ticket sales. So you either buy a ticket to Istanbul and then Istanbul to Minsk, which are super expensive things now, or you buy a ticket to Vilnius and with the visa already in your passport or coming from the Vilnius-based consulate of Belarus, you take a bus and in 5 hours or so you enjoy our democratic and free country over here in the center of Europe. Let's track these requirements step by step. Generally, it's clear that the passport must be in a good condition and there has to be at least 2 spare pages in the passport for the visa sticker and for the entry stamp, I understand it. And again, its expiry is 90 days or 3 months after you plan to leave Belarus. That's kind of simple. If you had the previously Belarusian passport or ex-Soviet Union passport, there may be a requirement from the embassy to confirm your certificate of denunciation of that citizenship. I'm not sure about nowadays, but previously they were very touchy about providing visa to like ex-Russian guy or ex-Kazakhstani guy because they're visa-free and by law this just doesn't work for them. So clarify, if that's your situation, clarify this with the consulate, please. The 2 35 by 45 color pictures, they call them passport size pictures, but passports are different. And people are very creative about this, so they must come from a professional photo booth. If you do like this with your favorite iPhone and then print it out with a touch of shadow in the back there by the bathroom walls, it doesn't work. So make it a professional booth thing. If you're coming to apply at the airport, there is a dedicated video about airport visa application. You can do that on arrival, but it's best to do your homework before you land. The visa fee is now mostly charged in cash, and cash has to be pristine, as they call them, mint quality banknotes, which I understand is a bit of a problem for the US citizens to get in the US. They tell me sometimes you have shops without cash, and most of the cash is like worn out, so neither Burma authorities nor Belarusian authorities are happy to have that. It has to be mint quality, no wrinkles, no damages, no smudges or anything. Please note that officially the visa takes 5 days to be processed, 5 working days, that's Monday to Friday inclusive, and 48 hours if you're applying for an express visa. In the latter case, you pay double visa fee, and in some cases, like in Vilnius, which is my favorite consulate by far, they're like really human-oriented guys there, they would charge you that double fee in the morning, and sometimes you may negotiate it, stating your reasons politely, carefully, clearly, that you wish to so much want to go to Belarus that if they could handle it by evening, that could probably work out. But that's no guarantee of that, so just count on 48 hours and go by the book and do everything inside the embassy to negotiate that your way. Obviously, if you're applying by post, let's say in America, it's going to be standard processing or express processing based on the visa fee you've paid, and it will be mailed back to your address just like you ordered. It's best to do that if your trip is a couple of months away. The visa form has been a tragedy for everybody. I have a dedicated instruction on my website. I have a dedicated video on how to fill this form. Maybe I'll make a new one explaining you how it's going to work. 3 major points. It has to be block letters. You have to type it in ideally so as to basically allow the bureaucrats read your form faster. You may struggle through 30 points on the form, but trust me, we here fill the same or worse forms to get to Europe, to get to America. And actually to get to America, we have to get to Europe first because that's where the closest embassies are. So it's a more democratic process on your side, guys. So type it in, save it as PDF file, send it to your visa support operator if need to, and print it out and then sign it on one piece of paper, both sides. Medical insurance is kind of easy in a way. Most people who travel around have it, and the medical insurance is provided by 2 companies from Belarus. The one that I previously recommended from Poland is something I no longer recommend. It may create undesirable issues here on the way, so try your best to get that insurance from one of the 2 links below. Again, VPN may be required in your country, but generally it works, or you might throw in a few more dollars, and if it's a short-term stay, you can ask your visa support party operator to get that coverage for you on your behalf. I think it's just a great idea. It's best to get an online policy because you can print it out as many times as you wish, because the conventional policy you may get on arrival here at the airport is just not a good thing to take black and white pictures of. And if you are traveling seriously or relocating, a black and white copy may be required several times. By the way, it's no longer required to declare your insurance as you cross the border and go through the passport control. Border guards go on the assumption that you declared it as you applied for a visa and the consulate said okay, so they just stamp your visa in, see if your passport is counterfeit or not, and just wish you good luck. Americans lately are getting, let's say, extended interviews, and there are some, let's say, more or less standard security procedures that the border control sometimes may offer or invite you to go through. That's something we can discuss if I'm your visa support provider and it's nothing super complicated and nothing tragic happening there. Just a few things to keep in mind for that. Otherwise, it's just smooth passport control and again, nice, free, safe country. Well, last and kind of central to the whole story is the invitation letter. Sometimes when the visa has to be over 30 days, many people who are relocating have to do the maximum 90 days, and most passports have 90 days in a year. Again, almost for every passport there is a separate solution for how they can get here and for how long they can stay here. And if you're applying for, say, a 90-day visa, 9 out of 10 cases you will need an invitation letter. As a relocating company, I am providing such letters to my clients and it's not a problem to arrange one. Ideally, you just approach a solid operator and ask them for the visa support and for further services which come as a package to this visa support, and you get your service. It's not a problem really. Invitation letter is a standard document. Its template is adopted by the Foreign Ministry. It's on the website of the Foreign Ministry essentially, and with some little changes here and there, it works for you to apply in any embassy worldwide. You do not get attached to the US if you are a US passport holder. If you have landed in Lithuania with a US passport, you can simply go to the Vilnius consulate, not embassy of Belarus, and basically apply there, supplying your visa support paperwork, giving you a sufficient ground to visit Belarus and having applied in that country. Essentially, this geographical mismatch has never been a problem, like in case with Russian visa support. A citizen of the US can apply for a Belarusian visa worldwide, no matter what they say. It could be even the Minsk National Airport, and if you're my client, it's not a problem to arrange that. Basically, this will be it. Thank you very much for watching the channel. Your questions are welcome down below. It's not a channel to discuss free and democratic bits. The other technical issues, more to the point issues, are very welcome. Thank you for pressing your likes. There's 2 guys pressing dislikes. Thanks for that anyway. Thank you for your comments. There is a super thanks button by the YouTube if you wish to give me $5 or $10 to go on with this thing, to improve the sound and the picture, as they say. I'm very grateful for that, and thanks for the patrons. Many thanks to the patrons for supporting the channel. There's some 10 guys doing monthly donations through patreon.com. The link is down below. Appreciate it. This was Andrei from Minsk. I'm hoping to see you somewhere on a Sunday meeting of the expats or somewhere just for a cup of tea. Thank you for watching and cheers from Minsk. See you later.